It's Daf Yerushalmi Terumos. We're on Daf Teva now from the article Oz V'Hara edition up to Mishnah Gimel, which is in the third line, fourth line. Sorry, Chavis Meiser. That is in the Vilna on Daf Mem Zayin and Beis. The 3, 4, 5, 6, ninth line down is little Gimel being a right line coincidence. The A Mishpat. So it says Chavis Meiser. And place here we got lucky. Chavis Meiser. The Meiser to my here it says in Kamnoki, but Meiser Ani. This grain which grew of Gidule Truma is Chayim and Truma some Meisers because Midaraisa it's actually Chulin. The Meiser is talking about Meiser Rishon, Meiser Sheni, and Meiser Ani. Ani Yisrael Bani Kohanim Notlim, the Ani Yisrael and Ani Kohanim both take the leket. Then the poor Israelim sell to the Kohanim for Dmei Truma, and the money, of course, belongs to them. That was Mishnah Gimel, and actually middle Mishnah Gimel. Sorry, Chovet. Chovet Meshubach. The I'm messed up here. Chovet Meshubach. The somebody who's normally they did disha, they threshed with a cow, and you're not allowed. Problem is not allowed to be chosei. Also, some shor b'disha, but you do our truma are now given to an animal, so therefore it's best to do the threshing with sticks rather than with the cow. But Dosh Kate said Yaseh, if you do disha, so then what you should do is the you should put a basket on the neck of your ox. Those mean and put that same type inside it. Means a low zome, so he's not technically muzzling the animal. But on the other hand, he's not also being machel the truma to the animal either. So therefore, he is off the hook. Okay, that's the end of the Mishnah. Says the Gemara. Has a rare truma b'shoigi yufach. Somebody said that's it's called the Mishnah, and it's a header in the art scroll, and there's not even a header in the Vilna. Okay, but v'azrei truma b'shoigi yufach lo mistabra de lo chilufei. It doesn't make sense. This, but rather the law of Yerushalmi being da ella the opposite. I mean, it makes sense the opposite. According to Mishnah, the chayt is niskar, right? If he's mazed, he gets to keep it. It's true, but he gets to keep it. He gets something out of it. And why should this be the case? That betruma, I'm sure you've mazed kayim. Konsubo shetabato sadeh agav truma. So the answer is a very simple one, that he's stuck with the truma. But somebody who turns it over so he can start from scratch and plant something which is not truma, right? So, but he did it amazing, so he's stuck with truma. It has to take it through to the term, and he can't plant it fresh until next year. Ashur bavduma boy, Ashur don't ask Mao Shihei Nemal or Mesa. Can a Kohen be believed to say I was Mason? Obviously, here to his advantage, because for him truma is almost perfectly fine. Amalei said, "Ima yumakirin lav kolimeru." So, if we knew that from elsewhere that he planted truma. So he doesn't have the capacity to say, "Well, I was really amazing," and therefore he has to keep. Therefore, he doesn't keep the truma. He has to uproot it. But if we don't know from elsewhere, so then a pesha also a pesha yitir. In those cases, by the alignment, he's the one who knows that it's truma. He's the one who knows it's amazing. So therefore, we have to align him, and he has the right to continue drawing that truma, even though for him it's advantageous. Okay, Rabbi Binyan Bar Gilo Boy, Rabbi Binyan Bar Gilo asked, Zora Trumas Kashinim, that only is eaten b'shas chak by human beings. Normally, kashinim are not eaten by human beings. So he also, in this case, also does he? What's the story? Does he have to uproot it to do shari? Zor chumas chutzlarts, also chumas chutzlarts, even the chumas chutzlarts, even of the of Zakan Tioshin Yitzar, which is the Raisa. It's only in there. It's only Rabbanan. So do we also do we constant? But they say Gzeirahi. They said it's a Gzeira. They only it was they only made a Gzeira to regard these things as truma, and well, actually, it's a Gzeira Rabbanan that this truma of Kashinin. Trumas chutzlaretz is truma. So ain't goes in zera. So we don't find somebody who planted these minim because that'd be a zera. Even though all the rabbanans in the end, all trumas and masters says the rabbanans, but their levels in the rabbanans. So which is davar which would be the rice of his man. That's things he saw al Muslim. So there are kindness if you whether shayik amazing depending on the scenario. But if it's something which is always the rabbanon, no matter when, so then evidently, even here, it's masha the truma. I should say this like level 3, because it's truma says strong tomatoes, cucumbers, whatever, apples, which is not the rice, and still you're going to have this. You're still going to have to abide by the xera. So this sounds like only by something which is Shinin or Chutzlaritz, then they didn't make Xera L'Xera. Okay. So the only that remote situation, evidently. Let's go as anything on that. It's interesting that later on, I'm going to see that the truma of Karshin, Chutzlaritz and truma of Karshin are, when you planted them, they is truma or not truma. So and mechulin. But we're still mistopic. Maybe since you're over on this of Zvias truma, they were kind of him to upturn his field. Well, that's very strange. And maybe I guess it's according to the suffix, even mistopic. If it's been mazed, maybe in these sense of meaning they should dafka be hopik. So it'd be some sort of fine. See, a lot of that Achronim have difficulty with the sugya. Okay. But Kamil, he takes it straightforward. He says that the Chachami didn't consider anybody who planted this, and he says that again, it doesn't get into whether now that they grew, they're going to be Gedulei Truma or not. But again, that's the sugya later on, which we're going to get to. Perhaps this sugya, right, Binam Begido, perhaps he was assuming that they are Truma once they grow Truma. If you planted Truma, later on, the sugya is going to take issue with that. Okay, a couple blocks from now. So the next part is the Yavia Shlish. Said Ben B'Shay Ben Mezi the Kayim. So Adam Rasha Kedusha Chal Olav Kshi Mechubar. So Kedusha evidently takes effect when it's Mechubar. the kedusha at least with the schumra that you can't regard the truma as truma and you can't uproot them. Adamra teaches us that mavishi peshul every shlish lo kadeshu. But on the other hand, since it's only at we're only once it's a third, it must mean that if you took fruit which is less than approach less than the third grown, and you mafish from it, let's say you took it for animal fodder, and you harvest to that point for some reason, and then you decide want to eat it, there is no has no it's not truma. It's not considered food, and can't be truma anything else either, obviously. When I said pishtan mezid yufach, he said pishtan mezid yufach, and the even the although normally we say by mezid kayim, but in this case we don't want you to be Makayim because the twigs, which are the primary part, or the stalks, the primary part of the pishtan, are not going to have a din truma even once they grow, and you're going to get hanor from them. So the maize is going to be coming a shigig because they're going to get hanor from some of the end anyway. So therefore, they said even the maize and yufach, even if it was maybe shlish, the fact that there's some flax seeds which would be the truma, that doesn't that it's overridden by our desire to be kindness him and make sure that he suffers and learns his lesson. Okay, the next part of the Gemara is about Cheves Beleket. The Chumas Meiser, the Tudu Chuma Archive and Leket. Rabbi Yossi boy Hifrish Omorim. If we set aside sheaves to be Truma, Nischalvu low, and they got mixed up with regular omrim, which is shikha. She forgot in the field, which therefore she comes down in. So what's the story? So it's important to know, even though we normally don't take truma at that stage from Davish lo nigmar malachto, even on Sayel shelo nigmar malachto, but the every took his truma also truma. So now they got mixed up. They have to all go to the anim because something leket. But even still, so nevertheless, if you can't ani yisov ani afilu can ani yisov ani yilkam malaktin, but because since you have a suffix truma, so therefore again you'll have the halacha of our Mishnah. You have to sell theirs to the kohanim, etc. Rav Tafran says it said in the Mishnah, "Loitu elani kohanim shem yishkuvi nu toch pia." So Tanya, we learned in the Brisa, no, I'm not sure the arts was word be Brisa. Tana does. Tana, ishto shel amoritz tochenes ishto shel chaver. The wife of an amoritz can grind grain together with the wife of chaver's man. He nitmoha. At the time that she is tmeah, the wife of the amoritz, because since she's assumed she's tameh, she's going to be careful not to touch the grain in order not to be matameet and cause its truma, which should be taken off of it after it's ground, to be tameh. Avo bisman she told lot itchom when she's Torah, she should not grind. She machzekah as much tahora mimeno. She also have more Torah than the wife of the chaver, and therefore, perhaps an exaggeration, but the point is that she won't realize that she's smear because she holds she's Torah. So therefore, she'll come to touch the truma and this grain with the produce, make it tameh, and the shouldn't be tameh. Ukitiv Rabbi Tarfa feel but it's much she tmei lo. According to Rabbi Tarfa, even if she's tameh, she shouldn't grind. For a different reason. Shema tishkach v'titen l'toch pia. That she's going to forget and put some into her mouth. The time she's tameh, and so much when she does that, even if it's not, she might put kernels in her mouth, and it's not yet chayv truma, so it's not yet gemar malacha, but still, it's going to be tameh everything else. And for instance, we're afraid she's going to tameh everything else, so therefore, just afraid that in the Mishnah, Shemish could be nu tachpi, and the Yisraelim, so we're afraid the women are going to put in their mouths. So therefore, and be matame, so therefore, you shouldn't grind together with an amoritz, even she knows she's tummy, or assumes she's tummy. So Rabbi Akiva said to him, "In case like to a Torah, in that case, the only Torah should gather." So the Gemara qualifies, came as Lisa im Kain. In other words, those words im Kain are being stressed. Because some people have had the gears in the Mishnah, Rabbi Kiva like to Ela Tahorim. Sounds like Rabbi Tarfon agrees, that Rabbi Kiva agrees to Rabbi Tarfon as adding on his words. So the word says, no, he's arguing. It's an argument. It's not saying you're right, and let's take it a further step and say, no, like you have to take it a further step, and we're not going to take it that further step. Okay. It says the Gemara next part Gemara is on Chayeves b'Maiser. Maiser. So, in that Gemara it says, Keni mas Nisa. This is the Mishnah says, Chayev, it's supposed to say Chayeves b'Truma. In other words, our Mishnah did not say Truma, it says it's Maiser. Therefore, Mishnah emphasizes it's also Chayev b'Truma. Chayeves b'Truma, u'Maiseros, u'Maiser. Litra B'Tzolim. In the Kabbalah has a Tanya here. Litra B'Tzolim Shemaiser Rishon Shenata. You have the measure of Maiser Rishon of onions, which you plant at Rebo Eser Litrin. So now you have 10 Litrin. So the so in this case, Harei Lecheves and Meiser of Shvius, the Chayev and Meiser, because the Iker is Batel Tosefes, and the organ to be Teva Gomer and Chayev and Shumus and Meisers. So even though you planted Meiser Rishon, which is Tovel and Shumus Meiser, right now it's the 10-to-1 ratio gives us means that it's Batel, and so it's Chayev and Shumaisis and Shvius, and if you uproot them during Shemitah, you have to mevar them. The biur also the group of Shemitah, obviously. Also, Ma'aser Rishon Shalahem. Well, actually, it's Kitaso, right? So it's never mind. We look at Shvius, so therefore it's Chayev and Shvius. Also, Ma'aser Rishon Shalahem. The Ma'aser Rishon which he takes off now on the on this Meiser, which the produce from the Meiser, it belongs to them. Not sure who them is. No. Voice that's very wrong. That's why. Both of Meiser that Meiser Rishon of them, umavish of Chumas Meiser from Mashinota. So the Chumas Meiser, the Meiser which he takes now on the 10 litros, he has to take Chumas Meiser on this one. So that's 1 liter out of 10, and another 1/10 of a liter for the 1 liter of the original that was originally there before he planted it. Litra b'tzom shemaiser sheni shenata, right? B'asin litrin, similar cake 7 maiser sheni. Chayeves b'maiseros, it's also chayev b'maiseros. Upayis maiser sheni shenata, and you have to redeem both maiser sheni now and the maiser sheni which you planted originally. Based on the proportion. Okay. That brings us to the end of the Chumad here. I think. Yeah. And we have a header at the top of Pei Zayin Rav, so we'll stop here.